Okay. So I think I'm live. This is saying something about my audio. No? Okay, now it's fine, I think. I hope. I'm gonna double check that it's actually fine. Because it says the audio is broken. Let's see. Where is it? YouTube. MeTube. Let me check if the audio is okay. Let me see here. Yeah, it seems fine. Okay, so welcome to this 5th live stream of my cat game. I'll begin by just showing how the game currently looks, and then I will talk about what I've done since last stream, and then we'll do some new stuff. And the new stuff will today be like editor tools programming mostly. So the game currently looks like this. I will just quickly run through it. You can walk around with this cat. You can jump up on ledges and jump up on top and stuff. And then I've worked on adding some of these tiles in the environment. Did some new graphic stuff. Of course, all this is gonna get filled out eventually. And then you come up here to some kind of cave thing, and you can jump up here. Oh, I did a funny jump. Oh, why can't I? Yeah, so you can jump up and climb, and then you get up here, and finally you find your spaceship, and you can fly off to space in it if you enter it. And then you go. And this, when you fly off into space, sort of transitions into a new game mode that is not much done yet, because I'm working on I just made this transition a few streams ago, but I kind of paused this space game mode for now, and now I reset the game. The game you will start over here, sort of next to this chop down tree, and your friend the squirrel will be there, and he will tell you to go to another planet to find a new oak acorn for him to plant a new tree and all that, and then you take the spaceship and go off. So that's it. And the game also has this editor mode that you can go into. So here I have some kind of tiles. I can select multiple tiles, and I can sort of paint with these 4 tiles, and it will randomize between them. Oh, I have one weird tile in here, don't I? Oh yeah, I have, like that. Then it will randomize between them like that, and then I can go out of it, and then I can't jump up there because it's too high. Yeah, so I have some kind of quick editing mode like that. And let's just remove, I can remove all this. And I've also added to the game so that you can place sort of objects in the game. And this is a bit what we will work on later. But you have like I can place the starting position for the cat, which is over here, and then I can place the rocket over there, and then I have this waterfall thing, which is not done yet. Okay. So what has happened since last stream? I was supposed to make a list here for the stream. I didn't. So let's do the second best thing. We open GitHub, and I go to my profile, to cat game, and I look at my commits, and then so I don't miss anything what I did. So what day did I stream last time? It was on Saturday. Which day was that? 17th. Yeah, so on the stream I started doing sort of well, since that stream I've done like this asset storage thing, so that you can have well, I think I added that on the stream, but I've fleshed it out a bit. So there's this idea of an asset storage, which is this thing, and no, not this thing, this thing. And what this does is it stores like texture assets and stuff and has handles to them, so you can fetch them. And I also added during that stream so I could reload at the end of the last stream, so you can reload all the textures in the game while it is running, so you can tweak those. And then I started working on new collision detection, and this is a bit funny. Because I had some physics bugs in the game, right? Like oh, the game is still running here. I had some physics bugs in the game, like when I jumped into walls, it could kind of glitch a bit and stuff. But those, oh, my tea is done. Forgot about it. I was supposed to take it out when I started, and now, oh, it's several minutes overdue. Disaster. Let's see here. Anyways, what was I saying? Tea broke my train of thought. Yeah, no, I had some physics bugs where I kind of got stuck in walls and stuff. So I started working on this kind of, there's a physics, like a collision detection algorithm called GJK, and there's algorithms for resolving collisions using that. And I started doing all that, and I sort of got it working. And then through some kind people in the Odin Discord server, I kind of, with their help, I kind of convinced myself to actually go back to my old solution, which is far simpler, because I don't need all the cool stuff from the GJK stuff, because that's quite complicated when you, because I was thinking that I needed like arbitrary shapes, but I actually, so far I don't think I do. So I skipped that. And then so I almost got all that working, and then I got to these weird edge cases, and then I was like, no, let's not do that. So I reverted it, and then I actually fixed all my issues in the current physics code. And the current physics code, I think I talked a bit about it before, that like, oh, I need to fix my physics system. So now I have a lot more faith in it, because it's very simple, but it works for this kind of game. And the only thing it sort of does is when you run like update play mode, where are we? Update play mode planets. Like this. So in the game now there is a bunch of static colliders in the world, and what it currently it only checks for the player against those, because I don't have any other physical objects, but we might add that later. So it goes over all the static colliders. It currently doesn't do any culling of this because I haven't needed it yet, and then it runs this collision resolve function, and what that does is it just asks Raylib for the collision rectangle for the player rectangle and the wall it's supposed to be colliding with, right? And it gets like the overlap rectangle. How much are these overlapping right now? And then it takes that, and if it's no overlap at all, then it just says there is no collision. But if there is some overlap, then it says like, then it sort of uses this to figure out which direction do we need to push the player to get out of this. So then it uses this, it gets back like, oh, did it collide, true or false, and what's the fix, like what's the vector we can add to the player to move it out of this. And then I just add that to the player, and then there is of course some kind of stuff like, oh, what about if it like it makes sure it sets this grounded variable that you're on the ground if you collide it from underneath, and it series some velocities and stuff. And one of the reasons I wanted to do the GJK stuff was that I saw some bugs that I thought I couldn't fix in the current one, but the only bug was that I sometimes, like, I can show like so in the game, when you knock your head, I cancel the velocity in the y direction, which is this code. You kind of collide from above, right? And before before, this code just looked like this. And and what could happen when it was a bit simpler like that was that you could walk up to walls like this, and then it could, in some cases, the cat collider, which is this red thing here, could kind of sneak into the underside of the collider of this thing here, and then it all went sad. And then I thought like, oh, but then I need some more proper physics stuff. But I didn't actually think that maybe it's just simple that maybe I just simply need to look at this corner case. So because this was I thought there were two issues with the physics, and this was one of them. And in this case, I just check if this collider, the left side here, when it collided, if it was barely inside from this side, and if it collides from this side, like if there's a wall from the other side, it check if it's how close it is to this, and then there's like a threshold, so it doesn't impact the jumping from below like this. It's very hard. It's like you need to be 0.1 units sort of from it. Anyways, so I did that instead, and then I fixed that physics problem, which was my main concern. So we're using this super simple method that has far less edge cases than using any advanced stuff does. And then I did. And the other problem was that I thought it was a physics problem, because sometimes when I walked, the cat kind of shakes a tiny bit. But I realized that's not a physics problem. It's something in my rendering with the camera. I have yet to look at it, but I could make that go away without changing the physics. So that's a completely different problem. So actually, now it's all fine. The only thing I don't support right now is kind of sloped colliders. They're all boxes. But I'm thinking that to make this game simple enough to work with and ship, I want to keep it a bit simpler. So I will, instead of trying to make things look nice by having lots of slopes, I will work in this kind of grid, but add lots of nice prettiness to the tiles and stuff. Okay. Yeah. So that's about the physics. So I reverted to my old stuff, actually using old collision instead. And then blah 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 blah. And then I did lots of clean. I've just been going crazy in the code, restructuring stuff. And then I've started on this new. I've started a bit on this new editor stuff that we gonna look at today. So let's look at how the editor looks right now and what's wrong with it, and then we will jump into the code to kind of try to fix all those things. So here is the editor. I showed it a bit before. You can put out blocks like this, and this is all fine. This works for now, and there's even a sort of layer concept. I can you see here which layer I can use page up and page down to change that, and I can even hold a key to see which layer each tile on the screen is on. If they're red, they're in front. If they're white, then they're behind, and things that are in the negative layers you can't collide with currently. That's how I do sort of non-collision currently. Maybe, and we will get a bit to some fixes to this later. Some new. One of the things I want to do today is add. Oh, but we can talk about it now actually. So there's also this object mode. So you can place the cat and other things, which is like the rocket and stuff. I want to in this category, I want to add things that are not necessarily like dynamic things like the player characters, but like bigger things, like maybe there's a big tree, and then that tree might not have collider that exactly corresponds to its graphics, which if you look at, for example, this tree stump here, it's a good example. This is currently made of 4 tiles, but I would actually like to just put it out as one big thing, and then in the editor somehow define that the collider is like a box that is sort of here, but currently the collider is like, it's a bit too big, and I don't get the boundary correct here, so you stand in a weird place. It's like a... So I want to fix that by making it possible to, in the editor, define new objects to put in here. And what that means is that I wanted to add an edit mode where you can specify like, oh, this is an object. It should have this graphics, and then you pick graphics from some folder, and then it should have this collider, and then you can like, you're in like this little edit mode. You can draw the collider and stuff. So that's what I want to do. So I can't do that currently, but when I start looking at this, right? When I start looking at this to add this extra edit objects mode, I got into a bit of a complexity issue with my editor. So I'll show what I mean. Let's see here. So this is edit mode update old. So I've already started a bit on the new code, but it's mostly nothing there yet. So I have this edit mode update old. And in this one, it's just sort of a mess. There is this sort of state machine with like different edit modes, but then I've just added lots of new things in here that don't have states, and then the states currently only say like, oh, am I like selecting things? Like I can do selection like this. So that's one state, and the other state is just I'm placing stuff. But now I'm going into, you know, having more complicated states where one state is sort of like, oh, I am placing these tiles, and then the one state is I'm placing objects, and then another state is I am editing the objects that are available in here. So it sort of breaks down a bit. So I need to sort of move everything and make it a bit nicer like that. I need to sort of make new edit modes. So there will be one edit mode for placing stuff, one for placing tiles, placing objects, editing objects. That's the three I'm thinking of doing today. And then the selection will actually be part of like, this is like a state current editor, and also it's buggy, like you see, it's placing stuff when I click. I think it doesn't place if I do this. Yes, it does. So I'm thinking that this one, the selection will just be part of the whatever placement mode I'm in right now. So that's just a sub-state. It's not like a main. So there's like a hierarchy of states. So one is sort of like which tool are you using in the editor, and then the next one is which the top one is like which edit mode are you in, and then there's like what state is that edit mode in, or something like that. So I have gotten started at this a bit. So we don't need to look at all this code really. What we need to look at is because this is the old code, and actually I already have the new code here. I just started a bit on it. It's just I have my 3 editing modes, and then I can reference the old code. So if I change to the new code, I compile, then it currently looks like this is now I'm playing, and then I click my button to come to edit mode, and it looks like this. So there's absolutely nothing here. So I'm just gonna migrate things over and do everything nicely, sort of, and that's it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get started with that really. I can just quickly say what I'm doing here in this new edit mode update, which is when I'm in this mode, it's play mode update running. When I'm in this mode, it's edit mode updating running. Edit mode update running. So what I do in this one is I just say that, okay, I'm gonna draw stuff, and it's clear it's not really necessary because I draw a gradient over the whole screen, which is this gradient. And then I make a rectangle from the window. I just make a big rectangle so I have something to do my layouting from in the window. So this one is in the upper left corner. Oh, I can actually do this. I can make this one always on top like that. This one is upper left corner here, and it's as big as the window width and height. And then from the window, I split off the main toolbar, as I call it up here. So this main toolbar I split off from the window with this height here. And split off is a function that takes a rectangle pointer, because it returns it takes like a y amount from the top and returns that, and then also mutates the source rectangle. So you can sort of do multiple splits off on the window, and then you would get, like, I could do more and more toolbars here. Like if I can show, like I could do, if I did a split off before this one, like this one will just move down now, you see. So now there's actually I've layouted a piece above it, which I don't want to do, but that's what it does. And then it draws a background color with this color I've defined, which is this dark color, and then it draws this state selector, which is the thing I'm going to work on first. I've already started a bit, as you see, but it doesn't do much yet. And then we have the game mode, the editing modes, which is place tiles, place objects, and selecting where I have the most of the codes for these two already in the old one. I'm going to migrate them over, sort of. And then I just have that it checks if I press F2 so that it can leave the editing mode and go back to play mode. It says editing false, and then it does some cleanup and refreshes some runtime data based on my edits. That's all that currently does. So what I'm working on currently is to be able to switch between these three edit modes. And the way I want to do that is to have this kind of tri-state. Actually, this one is not supposed to be here. Yeah. This is the selecting. I said that selection will be inside one of these. So we'll do this instead. We will go and we will keep it for now, just so the old code compiles, but we will do like editor mode. I will turn off Steam. Editor mode. This is sort of like add edit objects, which means I will modify the objects that are available for placement in the world. And yeah, so these are the three edit modes I want to implement. So here we have editor mode, editor mode, edit objects. So those are the three ones. So this one should be like, this is place tiles, place objects, and edit objects. Because they will be quite different, all of them. Like for edit objects, I won't probably even draw the world. For these two tiles and for placing tiles and objects, I need to draw the world so you can click and put things somewhere. But for this one, I won't. And that should actually, if I just do that, then everything blows up. Oh, because this one doesn't exist. Edit objects. Yeah, this one can be partial for now because I don't do the selection. So now you have these three: tiles, objects, edit objects. There's not enough spacing is obvious here. So now we look at the GUI state selector, which is the thing that selects which state I'm in currently. It doesn't do anything yet because, well, I only started a bit on it. Actually, we can do like this. em.mode is and then we send in em mode here as well. So this is just so here you feed in which mode are we currently in, tiles, objects, or edit objects, and then you set the result back. And then this won't, yeah, this is an anonymous union, so I probably need to I probably need to go up here and do like this. Editor mode, union. So I can easily cast to this type. So mode is an editor mode. Yeah, and then this should still be exactly the same. And then we need to do two casts here. One is from int to this one, and then we need to cast from int to this one. No. This one should be editor mode. And then something is wrong. Oh, because oh, right. Wait a minute. I can't do that because I was using it like an enum now, but it's actually a union. So I wonder how to do this best. Yeah, this I hadn't thought about. Editor memory. Editor mode. Okay, so we're in a union of these things. And then I need to choose either this or that. I wonder if I somehow can get like the index of one of these. Oh well, I can solve it for now like this. Edit mode update. Edit mode. This is actually so we just do like this instead. Or is this really the best idea? It's a fun. I hadn't thought of this problem before. Like, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to editor mode is an union. And I want, like, when you have an enum, you can usually cast it to an int. Right. But, and these unions are very nice to have because you can use them both as an int and as a struct at the same time. But you can use them both as an enum and a struct at the same time. But I'm trying to figure out how I can represent them as an integer. No, yeah, that I don't think that's there's no real order to them. Oh well, I'll just do something for now, like switch editor mode, switch m, switch m in editor mode, then case edit mode place tiles return 0. I guess. And objects, place objects, edit object. 1, 2. So this is what I meant. Like, how do I map this? I'm not sure. But it's probably a thing. I can live with it for like this for now. Edit mode index. Yeah. Editor memory. I'm thinking, do I actually want this as a union? Then I need to have all the state inside these, right? I hadn't thought of this problem. Editor mode place objects. I think I'm gonna do it like this. So what we'll do is make this into pointers of these different things, right? And then in order for our edit mode to not get reset when we jump between them, I will have like place tiles edit mode, and that's a editor mode place tiles. And then I just have we can call this edit mode place tiles, and then we take this one and this one, and then we rename this edit mode place objects, and this one is edit objects. Yeah. I actually think I'm going to let's see here. I think I'm gonna I sort of wanted to have my old code in this file, the edit mode update old, but I'm just gonna move that out to a separate file because I'm already gonna break it, and then it won't compile anymore. So I move it here, and then I can move it to the other screen, and this is sort of the I can just put it on desktop or something. For now, it's just my backup. Well, it's my reference. Edit mode update reference. And now we can go back to editor memory. We can remove selecting, and we can just remove all the stuff we didn't want. And we can remove this union because we're using a anonymous union for pointers like this, and then we have our 3 different edit modes here. Excellent. And then we can go back to edit mode update. Now, let's see here. So this one just takes, the reason I don't want to just throw in the edit mode right in here is because I wanted this to be like a general UI thing that I could reuse, like to do like tri-state selectors and stuff, or like select between different things, like in this case, so I can reuse this thing. Yeah. So that's why I want to put in. I was thinking if actually, maybe I can do some generic thing here and just avoid all of this. Like, maybe we can do like this. Okay, hang on. So the states is an array of things. And then we have another one called states. So this one was for the names, but maybe I can do it like this. No. Ideas are happening. So this one is a slice. Oh, so this is a generic. This is a generic function, procedure, parameter. I think I want an array of pointers, which would be the different possible states to be in, right? And then this is state names. This is the names to actually put here. Yeah. And then the current state is just another pointer of type t, and then I will return a pointer of type t. Now I can explain what this function here currently does. Currently it just, so I will change this a bit now to accommodate for this, but currently it just, it returns just the current state if states is of no length. And then what it does here is just it calculates how big the whole thing should be. So it measures the text of each name, and then it adds some padding, and then it draws, I don't know if you can see it, but it draws the gray background behind here, right? And then we have the here it makes this rectangle, and then it just draws here, and that's this stuff. And then the current, then it actually starts drawing the things, because it's sort of an immediate mode UI. So I do this before so I can draw the background, and then I get started with the actual text and the backgrounds on those. So then we go over all the states again, and we actually, if it's the current state, which is 0, then we draw this white background. I'm gonna make this look nice. I'm just getting there. And then we draw the text on top, and we move on. And then we return the current state. I currently not even changed the current state, but yeah. So the idea for this whole what my restructuring here is that I will first make sure that I can get into current state with nice UI, and then I will make what the editor stuff we looked at before, the old editor behavior. I will add that back, but in a more organized way, so we can actually add the new editing mode where we're supposed to edit objects and make them look like we want to pair up graphics with colliders in a more inside the game editor. So that's what we're doing. Okay, but now I'm actually redoing this one, because, so this is quite funny, because I was just before the stream start, I was working on this UI, and now I was like, oh, but it's important to check how you're actually going to use the function before you code it all. And then I realized, oh, wait, I'm using it's not just an enum. I need to know which state I want to be in, which is kind of like different, it's this union instead of an enum, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so now I'm redoing it like this, and we'll see if it works. So I want to, okay, first we're going to check one important thing, is if the number of states, which will be the pointers to the different state objects that hold the data for, like, if we're editing objects or placing tiles or whatever, that state, if I want to check if this array is the same length as this, because otherwise everything is broken. If these lengths don't match up, state names, then we return current state. Okay, that's good. This stuff will still work, but we need to loop over state names here. It doesn't really matter which one. Yeah, I can do like that. Down here I will loop over states. Down here I will loop over states, and then I will get my state name also. Name is state names. So this is the current state, which will be one of these guys, and this one is the pointer, the index of it, so I can fetch my name also. So I have my name, and I have this, and I put it there, and I put that there. is that it, and if current state equals, so here before I compared it to the index, but now I actually have pointers and stuff, so I can instead do that. I can compare the current state to S, and then, well, let's just get this one working again before we do anything else. Okay, what's wrong? Oh yeah, redeclaration of T in this scope. How do I'm not so good at this. How, with the generics, how do I reuse a type multiple times? Maybe like that. Maybe I just type the dollar once and then, so what I did, I put it here and then I just wrote T and T. I guess that's maybe how you do it. I haven't used multiple of the same generic type before like that. Okay, and now it complained about that. We didn't need a switch anymore. And then undeclared name editor mode. Well, we don't need that. We don't need this. Yeah, so here, now I just need to, these are the state names is like this. Maybe I need to put like that. And then we need the state names, and then we need the states. So states, the possible states are game Can I actually, next problem, editor memory. These are like this. I think I still need a named type for these guys. So I have a named U like this. Editor mode. Is this the best way to do this? I don't know. So editor mode is an editor mode, which is one of these guys. I think this might work. We'll see. Editor mode. And this one equals em pointer to em dot tiles. What's it called? Editor mode, editor memory. So it's these three guys I want. So it's like I want that, and then I want this. I want that to be a no. Editor mode is already pointer. Undeclared name. Oh, of course. It actually comes from the memory. Tiles. Yeah. Undeclared name. Yeah, this stuff doesn't apply anymore. Too few arguments. Current state. Oh yeah, I need the current one. Current one is em.mode. Okay, now it complains about some other stuff, and that's because I need to do something like this, I think. I haven't initialized. I changed the names, and I also changed how it works. Tiles, editor mode tiles, editor mode. What have I actually? Feels like something is wrong in my. Okay, so this one is called editor mode, and this one is called edit mode. I'm just gonna change these two. Let's just change it all to edit. Edit mode is nicer, I think. Ugh. Or And these are the different edit mode structs. Edit mode, place tiles. Yeah. And now this one can be edit mode. That was why I never could find it, because it was the correct one. Unable to determine polymorphic type from edit mode to... Because if I do this... Exactly, because this one... Because if I just do this... Okay. So it can't assign... Yeah, because this one is a bit confused. So if I do that, then this compiles. This is fine. I think I know what's the problem. So this, the type here is just, maybe I just do this actually. And then, so the type, the pointer is built into the generic type there, this one. I was trying to do something silly. We'll see what happens. I thought I was gonna do funny, nice GUI code the first thing I did, but then I run into this generic stuff. But hey, we do this, this, and that. This is not defined because I changed the name. And okay, now we're here. This one wants a list of C strings. I think that's fine because we just need to change this to C. It's a bit easier. I don't need to reallocate the strings. Oh, it compiled? What do you know? Do I actually trust this to... Is this running? I'm gonna press the reset button. Is it actually working? I'm just gonna... Usually I trust my hot reload to death, but... Okay. Okay, let's quickly try something here then. So we got my generic funny stuff going here. And let's try if I can change between the game modes by clicking them. And so then we need to know, okay, we have, we need to know the rectangle of this one. So we draw currently, we have a rectangle here, and we're not okay, let's make a rectangle. Do like a rect state rect is rect from pos and size, and then we can put this here and we can do that instead. Should be this should still work. Yes. And then we can do this. If rl check collision point rectangle, and then I take rl dot, this is from Raylib, get mouse position with the state rect. So we have that, we're inside it, and then we have rl dot get mouse is mouse button pressed dot left. Very exciting now. What's... For some reason I had an extra parenthesis. And then we say that cursed. Okay, it's. I can't change this one because I'm not allowed to change the. We do like this. New state is a type T. No. New state is cursed state. And then we say new state is S. And then here we return new state. Recompile. It worked. I didn't expect that. So I think a nice thing here is that so you could it was a bit chaotic there at the start. But so what happened was I was trying to think in the old C way of doing like, oh, I have an enum and the enum can also be an int. Yeah. And then I sort of I convert the enum to an int and pass that to this thing, and then I reconvert the int to whatever I have, and then I set it back that as the mode if it changed. But then I realized I wasn't using an enum. I was actually using a union, which doesn't. It's actually you actually have like structs in there. It's not just like names that are represented as an integer. So I just realized that, well, I have this polymorphic parameters. So then I used those, and that was actually easier than I thought. It's very useful because I could still use this with an int, because I could pass a list of ints here and it will return the int. It will just work, I think. So if I have some simpler code that uses an enum, I can still do that. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay. So now we can do this. Now we just have to do all the other things. So I want to make this look a bit nicer. I have some color, I have some kind of theme thing going up here. So I want to have, for this one, this is the selected one. So I want to have like control active color. So we define a color for that. And that's gonna be, so background is currently the one all over here. And I want something brighter than that. Then now I'm just gonna do like this again, as usual. Sometimes I just pick also from a program I see on screen. I was like, maybe this color is good. Someone else used that. Yeah. Maybe I should. I just think now he's thinking about colors, really. I want some more padding around these. So this is the padding in between them. I don't actually want the pad. So I want these sort of boxes to align tightly to each other, I think. So what I'm gonna do is put some distance in between these. Okay, so what I want to do is this. So this here I measure how big the text is. And then I want to add to this something like some spacing, right? Now this one becomes a bit bigger. I want 2 times the spacing. I will move everything over soon. Maybe I do like this instead. Button size. I don't know what to call these things. Like, are these buttons? It's like a tri-state selector thing. Okay, now that happened. So you see now they have a bit more space inside, but just before drawing the text, I can do curpos plus internal spacing. And then I will do this in here again. And then this will actually be the button background rect. So I moved the padding to that rect instead, right? Oh, this is a rectangle now. Okay. So we do this. Here's the problem. If I just add on a vector like that, it adds in both dimensions at once. Oh, I did it twice. Oh. I'm adding to the wrong one. Here you go. That looks better. The reason it's outside here is because I do separately the calculation up here for for this. So it should probably like this times 2, and then this one goes away, I think. Yeah, this shouldn't exist at all because I don't want spacing between them. So I want spacing inside the buttons, I think. So they line up nicely. Oh boy, did you just take the whole thing as your... Did it just... Oh, it's times plus. Okay. Actually, I don't need this anymore. There's a bit of spacing outside. That will come from... If I need spacing around the thing, I will do that outside this GUI thing. And then I just need to make sure that this doesn't happen and everything will move back. And now it looks like this. And then I want to draw I guess I should show an example of what I'm trying to make. Multi-state selector control. What are they called? Whatever. It's the thing where you can kind of pick between. It's like the more modern version of the old school web radio buttons that were like the circles, but it's just in one big thing. And I want a little border around like this. So we will check here. Draw rectangle, Okay. And then we will gonna look in Raylib and search for draw rectangle lines EX. So I want an outline to it. That's what I'm trying to do. It just needs to be one thick, I think. Or does it? 10? I'm just seeing if I can see it. Do I cover it up somehow? Here I draw the background. And then I draw this one. In this case, like, oh, I'm using the same color. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Want to make this active color slightly brighter, I think. So let's pump it up. Yeah. And what I'm thinking, I want to make some more spacing here just to make this look nicer. So I need to figure out the best way to do that. So we have this. I want to make my toolbar a bit thicker, I think. Toolbar height. Okay. Now gonna be 40. Maybe 36. 1 pixel more than before. And then we will go back down here and we will check. Now this is always, when you do immediate mode UI, you want like to put in some padding inside things, and the easiest way to do it is usually to just make sure that the rect I'm gonna feed into the selector function to draw this thing is fed a rect that has some padding. So let's do like this. Main toolbar background is this one. And then main toolbar is actually inset rect main toolbar background. And then we give it a number. I'm just going to go 1, 1. This function doesn't exist yet, but it's very easy to make these layout functions. So we have that. Rect inset proc r rectangle, and then it's like X and then Y, and then you get a new rectangle. Right. What we need is Just need to return new rectangle. We don't even need this thing. It knows the type from the return value. It's r.x plus x, r.y plus y, and then it's r.width minus x times 2. Yes. And then it's y, the height. Yeah. Did I name it something else? Inset rect. Rect inset rect. And that gives us that. Let's see if it, yeah, it moved a bit. 1 pixel was a much. It's a bit confusing because the game also sort of has this bigger pixel, so it's all a bit interesting. That looks better. Yeah, now it feels nice to click. Yeah. I wonder if I'm just gonna try something here. Control active color, and then if we make control active, so this is like background color. Why is this? I had this thing flashing on my screen, and I know it's the find my mouse pointer. So I should just disable that. But I think it might actually be a ease of use thing. Maybe it is not. Mouse. Finding your mouse pointer. In mouse pointer, in the pointer options tab. Okay, I'm too stupid to do this. I'm gonna mouse. Additional mouse options. Ah, of course, it's in the old control panel. How? Oh. It's actually not. Is that even visible? Yes, it is visible on the stream. Good. Well, not good, but oh well. I think it might be like, is it OBS that does it maybe? Oh, whatever. That's not what we're doing here. So I wanted to think about if I could make this one bright enough so I could invert the text color a bit, and then I got all sidetracked. Background color. So it's that one. Then I use the same here. And this is the text color. And here it's again is do like this is curve state equals S. And I can do this is curve state. Then I do control text active text color. Of course, nothing will change because this one is still that's a very bright color. This is a very Huh? Many confuse. Is current state bottom background rect? Okay. What the hell? So if I do this, okay, then it disappears. That's good. Oh, now it worked. What? Okay, that's what I expected. For it to disappear. Because it's the same. And then I was thinking, maybe if I take a dark color and put that. Yeah, that's really, oh, that's not very good. But maybe it's because like it's nej. Too jarring. Don't want. Did I undo enough? No, apparently not. Control active color. There we go. Okay. So now we have, and now we're just gonna bring the old editor stuff back in. That what I showed in the beginning of the stream that I have locked away in this file here. Okay. So it's quite a lot of the editor code, but it's because it's all the whole editor from before was in there. So let's see. I used to have a side panel here. I think I will still have that. So depending on what you choose here, there will be a side panel here. Some more tea. It's just a lot. I'm just trying to get started somewhere. Side panel. Yes, here. Let's do this. So let's try these things. So if we're in the place tiles mode, then we no, we don't do this at all. We say split off rect. Oh, and I need to split from the right, and I haven't made that function because I haven't loaded it. So this one just gives back how big the thing should be over here. If I split that off, and then it mutates the original one. So let's see. So I need a rect. So I want to make a side panel here. And I need that rect to Yes, the width is correct. The position of it is the position of the old one plus the width of the old one minus how big we want to make the new one, then also minus any margin, that's M, we put in. I wonder if actually I'm using a bad naming convention. X sounds like a coordinate, so it should probably be like W, and I might go over these other ones and fix them. So then now I have like how wide and how margin. That's how you speak English, apparently. And then the one we cut it out from, that one, because I copied this, I'm just changing it a bit. That one will still be at the same X position. That does not change. The only thing that changes is that it shrinks by the width plus the margin. So I think that's correct. So split off right from window, and we say we want 500 and we want no margin since we're already on the edge of the screen. They compile, it's probably split off already, but we're not drawing anything. So we're gonna take this code from the old code. Here we have side panel. And then we're gonna say color background, what's it called? Panel background color. Load. Oh, I'm not in that mode. There we go. And I switch between those, and I see the immediate mode UI sort of picks that up correctly. So because this code just runs when this one is selected. So that's all nice. All right, now I need, it's gonna be a bit chaotic this, but what I had here before was my tiles that I could place. Maybe I should start with actually drawing the world. How about that? That's a good idea. Because if I leave the edit mode, I see this, I should still see the same thing, but I currently don't. I've been in here for so long, so you guys forgot how the game looks, but so I can run, let's start simple. So one thing within this new stuff is before, in the old code, I always drew the world and there was no good state handling for all this. Now, I don't want to always draw the world, because in this mode I might have draw something completely different here because I'm sort of in a do other things mode. I will edit objects that will later go into the game, so it's like a little editor thing. So in that case, because of this, we will actually draw the world here. This might give us some order problem that we should have drawn. Yeah, this is gonna give us problem. We'll see why. We're gonna so here's the camera, we draw the world. That is the end draw. What does draw world do? Does that. Why doesn't this work? Let me check. If I place it up here. Oh, okay. If I place it here. So it's not that. Draw world. Little confused. Where's the end drawing? It's there. Let me check outside here. So game update does this. This is the play mode update. Just does begin drawing, draw some stuff, and then it runs draw world. Maybe it's this is missing. So my zoom is actually not set. So it just because you have a separate zoom in. This indentation. This when I copied it to this one, it converted it to spaces. And here we go. So now we can switch back and forth. Now you see, actually see the game. I guess I could do like this. Get camera checks if the zoom equals 0, then we use game. No, that's not good because then we don't have a good. Nope, abort. Okay. That's good. I also want it to be possible to move the camera, which is this stuff. So I take that. Put it here for now. You might put a little function because this stuff down here also wants camera movement. So I can now I can move the camera around. Yeah, and here you see the problem that the stuff that was rendered before ends up behind. But I can easily fix that, I think. Because, I mean, to be fair, I should probably draw the things that are supposed to be after, which is the editor after the world. It's just Do I need to do it in like 2 passes? One that draws the world and one that's not very elegant, but maybe I need to do that. Because if I just switch the place, so I put this switch up here, then there will be code in here later that needs this to happen before, I think. Okay, let's do that for now. This is, I would say, one of the few times I have problems with immediate mode UIs, that when I mean, okay, so what I should really be doing here is probably be able to feed draw world like where like the maximum rect it should draw inside, because currently it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna draw everywhere. But I don't want to go into that right now. No. And I never get anywhere. So we do this. Move this up here. This should only do the most basic stuff. Shouldn't do this. Then there will be a frame. Then there will be a frame delay if I move this down here. Then it will. Okay. So I will. do that. And then I will do this. Recompile. There we go. Huh. Okay, I can move around the camera. Now we need to draw my little, get my little tile set back here. So we will go down to here. Dum, bum, 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 bum. Okay, this is the code that did that. There's lots of stuff here that I don't need. It's a bit chaotic currently. This is the code. Just gonna copy it and make sure it works. So. No, it's not. Wait. Blocks. It's this one. I need to rename blocks to tiles. So it's all nice and samey. Okay. So what this code currently does is that it fetches a texture and then takes some rectangle out for it and then draws it, and then it checks if you're hovering that one, and then you can click it to choose. That's the one I want. So we will. Yeah, it splits off rows one by one. So I can immediately do this. Tile size 16. See if that compiles. No. Okay. If mouse in UI. That's one old one I had to know if I was in here or was over here. Do I really? Let's remove that for now. MP. So what was MP in this code? Mouse position. Yeah, we can have. Need that one. We can have that. Where to put it though? Let's just. Use this a bunch of times. Analysis paralysis. Where to put the mouse position variable. Select random block. Okay. What this one does, it's when you've selected several blocks and you paint, then it needs to choose which one do you want to paint with next. And this is just a local function I have in here. So I can just put that like here. Hey, there you go. Just appeared. Okay, and I can select them again. Can I shift select? Yes, I can. Okay, it's nice when it's reusable like that. One problem here, of course, is that maybe it's not the best background color, because I mean, sometimes maybe if I have a darker area later, but right now it's like wrong. I should probably have like a checker behind, because it just, oh, this means it's transparent. And probably should have some like a grid maybe, because it's actually like a tile set. But let's make sure it all works, and then I'll do some pretty stuff, and then I'll move on to the next feature. So otherwise I will change. Generally, a bad thing when you try to kind of refactor stuff is I see something I want to do while I'm in the middle of changing other code, and then, you know, I got too many things going at the same time, and then everything explodes. So what this code now does is that it checks if my mouse pointer is inside this, and then it if it is, it draws this line around it, and then it checks if left mouse button is down. Then it has this multi-selection I can do. And the reason the select random block is here is that I can select multiple, and then like which block it's actually starting on changes each time. So yeah, it just will pick one of the random ones in your set of blocks. And then is this it's why is this one going outside? I must this one, this one, this one. Oh, it's actually a bit too small. What do you know? I think it's because I just put 500 and it's actually not. How big should it be? It should be like 16 times 8 times 4, 512. Now, yes. See, this hot reload is for doing this kind of stuff. It's a bizarre time saver. Bizarre. Okay, so now I want to be able to place these again. Currently nothing happens because that code is not in the game anymore. Right. So before, in the old code, I had this, I was drawing this thing, and it was sort of a button to switch between the objects mode and the tiles mode, and then it just checked this bool in many different places, which one it was in, and there was no like enum or anything. It just checked this one, and then checked this bool in different places and did different things. But now I will have all the stuff for doing the tile stuff within this one. Maybe I'll put this in a function later, this case, but right now I'm doing this. I minimize this one. Right, now we will paint. So where is the painting actually happening? Trying to remember that. So this is for drawing so this is also a good reason why I want to refactor this code, because I always got lost in it. So this is the actual place mode, And here's the code for placing objects. That's not what I want. I want this. On this code. So this code takes the one you currently selected in here, and it draws it out here and then checks if you click, and it does all kinds of funny things. What is current block? Why is it like this? Is there a good reason? There must be some. No? Who knows? Move this one over. Okay, let's copy paste this into it and see what happens. Wait, what am I doing? See, I get lost in it's just. So I want this code. I screw that current block thing. Yeah. Okay, there's the loop that goes over all those. Paste. Selected block. Now, I'm gonna move this selected block thing into the state of the tiles mode, but I will just make sure this works first, and I will move some stuff around. How long? It's very silly code. Make sure it's actually in range. That's good. And then current block is this one. Then I compile. Then we see where we end up. Undefined camera. Guess I just refetch the camera in here. I put it here for now. Camera is a tiny object. Oh. Was earlier. Wrong place. Show layers. Gonna do this for now. Static entity under cursor. Okay, so this one. This code was here so I could remove things that was under the cursor. So we're gonna do this for now. And that, and then we're gonna pull this back. There you go, this is working again. I can even place it. I can't exit into play mode yet. Why is that? I should be able to see it when I... Oh, that one worked. Donk donk. Okay. Okay. Why? What's your problem? Okay. Right. Okay. Let's bring back so I can actually right-click stuff to delete it. And yeah, this is weird. This was before outside here. Like this. No idea why. No idea why. Well, it was because this code was chaos. Okay, so entity under cursor. So it's if static. This naming. Okay. Selected block. Okay. before I do the right click, I'm just gonna rename some things in here. So it's all nice. Because I had this funny thing where I call some things block and some things tiles, and it's just yeah. Editor memory block, editor block. What are you? So you're that thing. So we call you tile instead. Turn on the case sensitive find editor block. Editor block. Editor tile. That's the first thing. Then we're gonna call this one tiles, editor memory tiles. Then we do like em.tiles, the blocks I mean. Yeah, let's find this everywhere. em.tiles, tiles. Okay, compile, edit mode, update. And then we have this edit memory selected blocks. So this is, you can do like multi-select like this. Oh, it paints behind currently. It's good. And then it changes which one you paint. Yeah, it randomly picks a new one in the set each time of these. And the way I implement that set is actually, it's a map from the index of the tile to nothing at all, because there's no set. A set is just a map with only a key, and then the value is just an empty struct which takes absolutely no memory. So that's actually how I did that. Wait, where is there a selected block and selected blocks? Oh, one is which is currently on the cursor, and that's the one to be painted, sort of. And the other is which it has to choose from. Not the best names. But we're gonna move all these. Now we will start moving things into here. So we have the state for this stuff up here. So this will be selected tile. And this will be... No, this is like brush tile, and this is selected tile. Maybe. I'm not gonna move this yet because tiles, I don't know if I want to move it in there, because it feels more like in the objects case there will be an object list out there, and there was 2 different edit modes fetching the same. So we'll see. Oh yeah, of course, it's not in it's not in the edit mode anymore. It's in the... So again, the unions, you switch on the mode and with a variable, and then you can case to switch the type. You have cases for each type, so you get like the enum behavior plus you actually get the data in of that struct. That's struct member in the union you get in M. So we can use that. So we just do like this, M. Okay. M. And now this is all wrong. Editor memory. Edit mode. Place tiles. Selected. No. Selected tile. This is M. This is M dot brush tile. M. And then select random block. What the hell is this thing doing? Oh, it's because it's a map. It does a funny sort of... It counts down this variable because you can't just index a map. So it's doing... what's the best idea to do here? Maybe I'll just... I just do it like that for now. I think I might... I don't like how this looks. Selected tiles. Brush tile. And then this. Oh, there we got our first crash. Right. So this still works. It's a funny thing, every time I click behind it paints something. I think that was one of the codes I was like, what's this for? And then, yeah, not mouse in UI. Right, so maybe we need this mouse in UI stuff soon. It's just chaos now. Yeah, let's fix that so we can't... Am I done with this? Editor memory. I was moving things over. Selection, not gonna change that right now. Then there's some other things from before. Okay, some more tea perhaps will make the code happen. Just checking. Right. Mouse in UI. See if we can do our mouse in UI. So mouse in UI is essentially is if point, what's it called? Check rec, point rec, mouse position with main toolbar background. I mean, I know that's not the final one, but it's just because it needs the side panel as well, but okay, so these things should draw all the time. This is if you're not in the UI. So now it disappears if my mouse cursor goes up here. Still draws that thing on top of it, but I will look into that. Okay, that's good. And now we just need to make sure it doesn't draw on top of this. Which means we need to go down here. Check. Here's our side panel. Mouse in UI equals. Can I do like this? Oh. Yeah, so there you have that. Now I'm just thinking about, these still draw on top. So I have a bit of an ordering problem here. Like I said before, either maybe I should just draw. I should put in a rect, say that draw the game into this thing, not into all this. I think I will do that later. For now, this is fine. Right. Okay, I was doing something. I was checking. I was going to add the last functionality of this mode back, which is to be able to press the right mouse button. This one doesn't care about the brush tile, so I think actually it should be something like this. Does that build? Yeah. So now I know I'm not in the UI. And if I click the right mouse button, I need to know if I'm. Let's do this. If. And then the tile under cursor is bigger than 0. Remove all this crap. Then we have this thing called static entities here. Static entity under cursor. So these are currently named static entities, but yeah. So this will remove this one. It will destroy the render object and remove it from the list. So you see up here is how it adds it to the list. It sort of appends it to this list. Then it will clear the selection. I don't have really selection right now. Okay. And then of course I need my tile under cursor. And then I need to So previously I had static entity under cursor. I'm gonna try to see where that happened before. Okay, so previously it went over all the static entities in the world, and then it finds the one under the cursor. So show layers is the thing where I could hold down a button and then I could see all the layers of all the things in the game. Edit mode, begin mode 2D camera. Static entities. You're thinking where to put this, is the way? I'm not currently looping over all the static entities, am I? Entities. Nope. Okay. Take this stuff. If I'm not in the UI, okay, let's just do it here. That's a long thought process to do nothing. Tile under cursor. This I comment out for now. Ah, it's the good old camera again. So it wants the camera to bring this world position into the screen space where the mouse is. We will get the camera and put it somewhere far up here. No, not here, but maybe here. Okay. Now I can remove them with right click. Again, it's good. Oh, it's in case sensitive. I was like, hey, this is crap that I never finished on my stream. I can move things with the arrows, but they can only go to the right and it flies off to hell. So this one is good. It's for putting the small. This is the point where the cat can grab. So you manually say put like where it can happen. So I will just take all this, go down here. If I essentially have a bunch of things here that can only happen if I have a tile under my cursor. So this is like the do shit to the thing under the cursor part of the code. Right? So I press G, which is my grab, G for grab. And then I need to change this to that. And then I think I'm done. Yeah, now I can. This one looks a bit funny. Let's use this one instead. You see, you can do this. You can put this one here. Then you should be able to grab. Yeah. Excellent. You having a toast? Oh. Gott. Right. And then I will just go on like this. Is this one actually used? This one is not used anymore. Okay, X. X is used to flip them. And now I will, of course, here I was like, oh, this is the stuff for the, if it's under the cursor, but this one only checks if it's under the cursor sometimes. So X, if you press X and you don't have it under the cursor, then it will flip all the whole palette. But if you have something under it, then it will flip the thing under the cursor. And if you hold Shift, I think, yes. Oh well, let's do this. If rl.isKey pressed X and rl.isKey down, left Shift, then I just do this. I just realized something here. I'm fetching this thing everywhere. This feels like... Okay, I'm gonna finish this first, make sure it... Now there's a funny print there. Yeah. So I should be able to do this. Like TUC, tile under cursor. It's a pointer, so I can... does it really need a... Doesn't that work? Ugh. Yeah. Now I can flip it. You see the... I can hold Shift and press X, but you still see the funny thing emerging here, the brush. Confusing. And then, so what usually happens is that if let's do an else here. So this is for shit when you don't have a tile under the cursor. These are not as many. Flip X. This one will make everything here flip. Oh, it only works when I'm not here because it's checking if I'm not in the UI, which is an annoying corner case. So I'm out of this one. And then I'm no longer in the UI. And then I check. Now I'm probably gonna run into trouble because I don't even have tile under cursor defined. Nope, because it is defined. Here. So I always need to check, even if... Wait. Can't I just check? Tile is under cursor. Mouse in UI. So it's allowed to happen in both cases. So mouse in UI does not matter. He's getting a bit tired. Okay. Anyways. You know what? No, I want to be able to press X even when I'm not. I want to be out. I want to be able to be out here and press X to do stuff like this, and then I want to turn it around, press X. Yeah. But currently it doesn't work if I hover something, because then there's a tile under the cursor. Because this one also checks for shift. What the problem is here? It's that I'm doing this inside here. I should just like... What's the most general thing in this thing? Oh, it's that I pressed X. Okay. Then we take this stuff here. Then we'll be like, okay. But did you also have a tile under the cursor? And did you hold down shift? Else just flip the global state that controls the whole brush, not just the one under the cursor. Now of course I got owned here because I was trying to do smart up here. So to do like that. Now I can flip this one. I can't even see when I flip it. Okay, I should have that. If I hold shift, I don't paint this thing, I think. So if I don't hold shift, yeah, because then I can do this. And it becomes nice. Now shift sort of becomes this general, like hide the hide the brush, because I don't need to hold shift to press G to move the grab points, but it's so chaotic with things everywhere. Can I grab this? No. Why the hell not? Oh, I could. I can need to tweak that gameplay code a bit. Okay, let's move down here. Okay. Now, this stuff has to do with selection. It's not currently doing the box selection I had before. Yeah, not sure if I should add that now. So my goal was to get to edit objects, but I've only done the tiles section. It takes a while, but this will be so much better. Oh, actually what I'm gonna do now is put in some nice cats, she says over there. No, I will put in some buttons here, because previously there was like a save button here and a snapping button and stuff, but these will be more like the save button will go up here, because this is like the main toolbar that is always visible. So right. One problem with this thing is that it doesn't return yet. It needs to return the rect. So this one works a bit differently. Since I don't know how big the things will be, I feed a position and then it calculates how big it is. And then, well, of course I know here how big it is. This is always philosophical of immediate mode UIs. If you should, how do you best know beforehand what the size of something is? So I want to put stuff over here now, and then I need this. This one hasn't currently eaten any space in the main toolbar rectangle. So doodly do. I'm thinking how to best do this. I could make a separate function that calculates the rect that this one should have, because I still need to do this sort of in here. Here, before I do anything, I calculate the whole rect for it. So I could do that. So that's two separate functions, one for like, and then I can feed that in there, and I can also then it will calculate the size of it. Let's try it. Not sold on that idea. Maybe it's better to have this return two things, like how big thing did I make, and Goose is the lecture size. So then this needs it's like, oh, what position, how high. So the width is unknown because it will render text and shit, and it's gonna, and then it returns just a vector of 2. Oh, then it actually needs all this size as well, doesn't it? It just didn't have names, really. I don't know if this is a good idea. We'll see. And then we'll take all this, put it in here. Okay, we don't need this thing, it's silly. Total width, we will calculate. This doesn't need. So everything is 0 initialized by the. Oh, why am I will use this function here. I don't need to. I don't need to write like that. Just say like this. Just wait, isn't it just. Oh no, it's above total width height. So this we will still have there. So then I say like, okay. And the size here is GUI state selector size, and then I send in my state names. Oh, of course it needs some additional things. It doesn't use the position, it doesn't use the height, doesn't need the position, height, state names. Okay, that's a bit simpler now. It needs the height and then the state names. This thing still works, but now starting to doubt that this is a good idea. Okay, as usual I should have written the code that uses this thing first. So what I want to do here is okay. I want to say like rect from position and size. The position is with the main. It's like main. Okay, for some reason I have this function that just grabs the x and y from the main toolbar. And then here we need to write GUI state. I don't like this. And here we write the size once, and then the state names. And then we break this one. Okay, so this is the rectangle. This one will need a rect. And that will be your bg rect. So you don't need that anymore. And then you just do pos from rect. That's the current position. Maybe I can actually rect from pos size. Yeah, then okay. Wait, what am I doing here? I should just do split off rect left of main toolbar. And then I need to tell it how much. And I say then I need this. And the only thing this one needs to return is the width. GUI state selector width needs to return a float. Total width. So you do that. So you split it off like that. And this is the margin on the side. What more crap does with this one now? What? Just do this. Just gonna put these like this because I this width. Okay, and now this stuff will become different. You don't need the current position. New state you need. Rect from position and size. Button background rect. This is just a rect split off rect left. Rect button size.x plus this thing times 2. Move that. Height. It doesn't know anymore how high the text should be, but we can just say rect.height. Yeah, we're not allowed to take the address of the procedure parameter because you're not allowed to. Then you can modify the procedure parameter. So this always makes me a bit like, what should I call it then? Should I change this now to like in? Or this one is like, so I guess we're doing something like this. R equals rect, then we just use this one throughout. Yeah, and then we need some padding, which we're not gonna have. And then we say current position. No, we don't. We don't do anything. Maybe we don't need to do any of that. Draw text. Okay, let's look in Raylib. Draw text EX. What alternatives do I have? Yeah, text you just say position. You don't give it a rect because it doesn't really mean anything to it. So we can feed this one a position, this one we can feed a position, this one we feed a position, draw text. Maybe I can use this one with my fancy font, then the name. And then I have my position, which will then be pos from rect button background rect. It's not really button, it's just like button rect. And then it wants the middle, and I think I have like a, don't I have like a rect middle? Yeah. The rect middle of button rect, not sure. This will give the pivot. We say the text should be centered around the middle of the thing. What more? You can have a rotation, and then we want to pass 0, the height. Okay. 0, and then button rect dot height, and then there's a color. Should I not have done this? Okay. Okay. Should it be like it seems to have been centered now in it, but I want to push it forward. Why is... okay, let me try something. Button rect dot width and then 0. Why does this work? Will this work? I think it... Then silence. Okay, that's apparently not how I do it. I thought the origin would be like... What's the origin in this case? I can see that. So now the origin is up here, and it's drawing the text inside this thing. Not sure what I'm supposed to do with this. I can just push it forward with this. Plus internal button spacing 0. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's nice. So the reason I just did that, in case I forgot, was that now this has magically eaten this amount inside the main toolbar. So I think it was actually a good idea to do it like this. It's actually cleaner also, the code. So now I can just do like if GUI button save, and that one should be at split of rect left main toolbar. How big? No one knows. 30. Want a bit of padding. Why didn't that work? So if I remove this, do I see the button? Yes, it's very pretty. That's my old UI code. It's interesting. Oh, it's there now. No idea what's up with that. Did I actually get any spacing? Is this one? Hello. 2000. Okay. I think this margin here is missing a plus. No. Res. So it comes from the left. I want some margin, so the res dot x should have plus equals margin. But should not move it. And then you move the real, yeah, I think that was just broken. Yeah, there you go. Okay. It's so pretty. So now we'll use the new font I've cooked up. Oh, yeah, I only measured, I didn't. Instead of using the Raylib font, it's cute, but this is more readable to me. And then we do like, what was this before? 10. Okay. Now I'm just fooling around really. Is this even the same font size? I don't think so. Oh, it's all hard coded. Okay, we need to figure that out. Because, so. Here we feed the height here. Okay. And here it's hard coded. Oh well, I can at least start with fixing the colors. I need the other one. I need to reference my selector. Okay, so the lines. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Buttons. Probably reskin this a bit. And then we need to do this. Bam, green. And then we need to, yeah, I need to think about my colors here, but I don't know why I'm doing this so nicely. It's just for me, but I like, because it's a nice thing to do. It's fun, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna figure out the colors later. And instead I'm gonna do the thing that it should do. The old one. Run save world. We can try that. But do we have anything funny in here? Okay, let's just add this thing. Click save. Close the game. Open it again. Who are you? I think it's been some state bug from before. Yeah, now it worked. I think, yeah, been messing around. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that for today. I will just continue porting over things like this. Make sure all the old things work, and then I will actually get to this new thing that I was supposed to do. But yeah, I think for next time I will have all the editor stuff done. So what I wanted to do here was put in so I could make this one proper, and then I have lots of, then I can also start making lots of, so there is gonna be I have a nice concept for, there's gonna be a waterfall here, and it's gonna be a waterfall you can talk to, so it's gonna be like an animated waterfall with a face and you can talk to it. And oh, it's the wrong one. So it looks something like, this is my sketch. So I'm this is of course I've started making like bushes and stuff here, but this one needs to be some kind of animated thing that lives there. So I'm gonna also use this fancy tool to define these guys. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll